Hello and welcome to the Simply Greg Show. As you already know, the Simply Greg Show is all about elevating the mind and inspiring the community by spotlighting the hidden gems in the community. And that's basically ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So basically, that means is every week we have an amazing guest who's either been through a challenging situation or got some information they can share with us in order for us to also apply the same practical tips so that we can see the same level of success in our own lives. Today, just like any other week, I've got another amazing guest next to me. Her name is Michelle.
Hello.
Yeah. How you doing, Michelle? You okay? Yeah?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I'm doing really well.
Good. And thank you so much, obviously, for making it today, Michelle. Michelle is basically going to talk to us today about how to be able to live debt-free on a shoestring budget, like literally. Speaking to Michelle and also seeing what her course does as well. It's just amazing to see that she's come from, where she was previously before. And, she's obviously going to tell you a story, but to be at a position where she's been able to make herself debt free with a shoestring budget or debt free just from one person's income in a house. That's crazy. So for me, I'm like, you better perk up your ears, get your notebook, notepad, get everything, man, and just make sure you take down a lot of notes. But Michelle, thank you obviously for being able to make yourself available to, share some of the information that you're going to share with us, because you've been through your own journey.
Yeah.
And in that time, you've been able to learn a lot of things, which you now share with other people in order to literally be able to find themselves debt free, and in a position where they now have more than enough when they felt that they didn't even have enough.
Yeah.
But that's me giving them a lot of insight. Let them know who you are, first and foremost, your program, your business, what you do, and how you've been able to live a life debt-free to be where you are right now.
Well, Greg, thank you very much for having me on the program today. I am Michelle Wille. I'm married to a German man, so my name might look like something else, but it's actually Wille, as in Arsene Wenger. I know you football fans will know that the W that turns to a V sound. Michelle Wille. Okay, and I have two children, and we live a normal family life. But when I was growing up, I never saw my family have I never saw my family in debt for anything. Anything our parents needed and our grandparents needed, they saved up for it. And then they bought it, or they put stuff away, and then they would buy it. And sometimes you think that they didn't have any money at all. You thought you were poor, and then they would come out with a lovely present for you, or treat you to your driving lessons, or you think, how did they do that? Do they know magic or something? And then and I look back and I think, well, they really should have taught the younger generation a bit more about what they were doing, but they didn't. I think they came from an era where everything was quiet, and money is one of those subjects.
That wasn't something.
You don't just talk about money, because if my children find out I have money, then they're going to be asking me, and then they're not going to want to work, and they're not going to want to, I came here with one suitcase to this country and blah, blah, blah. And so that is exactly what, they don't want you to know. So the subject in many households is not talked about. And that pattern goes down to the next generation and to the next generation and to the next generation. So when a child asks for something, they just say, money doesn't grow on trees. There's no money, and fair enough. And we know, okay, if we do get some money, we're going to spend it straight away. And that's the mentality of children. If you gave them £1, they would say, great. And they go to the shop and they'd buy some sweets and they would spend the whole of it. My children still do the same thing. They're just turned into teenagers now, and they still do exactly the same thing. If I give them £5 and they go to the shop or they go to town, they will spend the whole thing.
Wow.
Now, the problem is, Greg, when you become an adult,
but you still
got the same mentality of you've just been paid.
Wow.
What does everyone do? Straight down the pub.
Yeah.
Or one round each.
She just went and hit home straight away within 5 minutes. Someone's like, ow! You just hit them within 5 minutes. At least warm up. warm me up first. Let me hear your voice first.
And so,
wow.
I saw this, but I don't know. I'm from the belief that we all have different gifts that are given to us when we come into this world.
That's it.
We can't all sing like Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
We can't be the Whitney Houston. You know, I've heard so many people try to sing "And I Will Always Love You," and you think, "Oh no,
I won't love you."
No.
Yeah.
But then when she sings it, you think, "Wow, that went right down to the depths of my toes."
Yeah.
And I believe that God gave me the gift of teaching money. As a child, I would have been that person that you would have given the £1 and I would have spent 50p and then had a 50p for next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I just would have. Nobody taught me that. It's just, that was just my...
Instinctively.
That was just me. And as you go through life, I don't know if your parents ever did this for you, but I know many people, their parents did. When they were little, you got your post office book and you went to the post office and you would start saving the post office. It was the only kind of bank account that you could get. You go to the post office and you have your little blue post office book and you start saving. And then
for some of them right now, this generation's like, what? Post what?
Exactly.
Book
post
what?
Office. I know.
Because I just about even made it.
There was no cards. There was no cards, no swiping, no nothing at all. You actually had to take physical money to the post office. They would stamp your book and then you'd look and you could actually see the total. The lady would write the total. You didn't have any bank statements. She would write the total. So you'd be walking home thinking, why, look what she just wrote. And you think, why? And then someone asked me what was I saving for? And I said, I'm saving to go to America. And everyone said, how much you got? And I said, I'm £40.
Wow.
And to go to America was like, £400 or something like that. And I didn't make it. But in the end, when I got to
how old was you at that time?
When I got to, I'm 40. When I got to about 120, my mum just said, look, give me the book, let's cash it in and I'll pay the rest and we'll go. And I thought to myself, that put something within me that to say, if I try, then there's always something down the road that will help you to get there. And that's happened in many different avenues. It's like, when you try, you might meet someone along the way, or you might just be talking to someone down the pub and they might say, oh, I know somebody who's looking for someone who wants to, it's like if you start and you're halfway through, then life has a way of finishing it off for you. And that's the truth wherever you go. So that's what I had within me, that if I tried, I would. So I kept on trying all the way through life, and that was what it was. Fast forward to being an adult now and getting married, moving from my town to where my husband lived. We went down to we were on one salary, but then afterwards, within about 2 weeks of me being there, I was headhunted by 2 different companies, and they both wanted me, and I just took the one with the higher salary. And I went there and I was working, and things were great and jolly. It was a small company, family company, and I found out I was pregnant, and I was very happy. I told them, and then the following week they called me in the office and they made me redundant.
Wow.
I just
as soon as they found out you're pregnant. Wow.
They may have been going to make me redundant anyway, but it was just the timing. It was like, hang on. But I know they were small business. They were small family business. They probably just couldn't afford to keep me on, pay all that maternity. And, it's just all coming out. And I'm not even there in the office doing anything. For a big, large company, they can write it off in some way. So I went home and I told my husband. And he was like in shock, and we were in shock. And I said to him, don't worry, because we do live life on a budget. It's just that the budget is very big because we had 2 salaries and no children. So I don't know, Greg, if you know this. When you go into the supermarket, the products at eye level are the most expensive. They're the brands. We know the Heinz and all the different the Bachelors. That's the eye level. So most people who don't watch prices, they will pick up that brand, and the shop will make more money on that brand. So they will make money at the end of the day, and your corner shop will do that as well.
Okay.
But if you look down to the bottom aisle,
which some can't be bothered to having to do splits and that, like
you'll see the everyday no value white packet with just biscuits on it. So that's where we had to go to. We had to make things work. We had to rejig everything, cancel everything we already knew. Because we were not shopping at eye level. We were shopping at eye level. We weren't shopping at below eye level, and we started shopping at below
eye level.
And then I just rejigged the budget. And then I said, oh gosh, we've got this amount left on one salary. Let's keep on doing this. Keep on. The baby was coming, and I suddenly, I discovered things like nearly new sales. These are things that people buy a whole load of stuff for their babies, and then afterwards they only use half of it. So all of them have the labels on it. So I just discovered things like that. So I would get a cot and all the bedding and everything, and I think to myself, oh my gosh, the whole thing cost me £100. I mean, the cot on its own would have cost. I had this £30 cot.
Yeah.
The joke is, I had it for both children. 18 months later, I had another baby.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I sold it for 35.
That's crazy. She has to give them, like, someone scratching their head like that. She bought it £30, had it for two kids, and then sold it 35.
Yeah.
Nah, man, this is mad.
It was so pretty, and it was like all kind of ornate looking, and I said, I think I could still sell this for that amount, and I sold it for 35, and I said, wow. And that went, and someone came and got it and took it away. And so I started doing this, and my friends started coming around and saying, Michelle, you're doing really well. Did you get a loan or something, or to tie you over? Yeah. And I said, no, I haven't. I've been doing this all on one salary. And I said, I'm quite enjoying it, really, because I'm at home with the baby, and the bills are being paid. Yeah. And it's like a challenge for me every day to see how little I can get something for, and how well I can look after it and then flip it. It's called flipping, what they do with a house. Yeah. So then you sell it on again. Yeah. So you actually get the use of it for nothing. And I say that to my children. I get angry with my children now when I buy them like a Barbie for £15, and then I come back and I see them, they're drawn on the face. No, I can't sell that.
I can't flip it now. We're in the flipping business, man.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
It's depreciating now. It's gone.
And I saw my daughter. She put a whole load of stickers on her PlayStation. I saw it today before I was leaving, and I was like, Michelle, calm down. It was her PlayStation. It was a present. And I'm always thinking of the future. And how can I get for that PlayStation now that the next PlayStation is out? And but all them stickers.
So you always thought of ways that you can obviously get a return on anything that you spent.
Everything, a return
or everything
on
you spent.
Everything. Okay. Because we are
rather than just spending. It's more investing and return.
Money is a tool.
I love that.
It's moving, always moving. Money hates to be still. If you leave money in a bank, it is worth less the year after because of inflation. That 3% inflation makes that £100 now worth £97. So money doesn't like to be still. It likes to be moving.
That's why it's called a currency.
Yes, currency, because it's moving. Yeah. And so anyway, we managed to do it, and everyone was coming round, and they started taking notes. People were staying till all midnight, really excited with what I was telling them, what I was doing. And then one of the ladies had a death in the family, and she had a GoFundMe page online, and I was like, you have a GoFundMe page? I said, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? And that means you didn't. It's basically when you have a GoFundMe page, it says, I don't have the funds to make up for. I don't even have any money to bury my dad. And then she sent the WhatsApp to everybody, and I thought, oh my gosh. And I said, oh no. So I called back everyone, and I said, how are you getting on with this money saving and stuff like that? Are you really now being able to live debt free? And they're like, nope. In fact, sometimes I'm spending more because I'm buying more stuff, and I'm not understanding how you're actually putting this together. And I said, okay. And I thought to myself, what am I doing that they're not doing? And I thought, right, I am using the savings to put into a plan. My background is business. So I did a 4-year business degree before I even had a family or got married. So the same way you would run a business, I was running my family. Wow. I was like, with a business, you'd probably have a company car, then you'd have the petrol, and then afterwards you'd have the tax, and then afterwards you'd have some marketing, and then afterwards you'd have some website fees, and then you'd have all these things in a business that you're doing together, sales team, and everything, and then entertainment would be all part of the budget. And each department where I was, because I worked for a big multinational each department would have a budget.
Mm.
And at the end of the year, if you still had some money,
Mm.
then your Christmas party was going to be bigger than everybody else's, or everyone could share up the last of the budget and have a little bonus.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I just took it for granted that that's what happens at work. Then I started using it now for my household.
Yeah.
I want to get to the end of the month. If there's something left, now what are you going to do with this?
Yeah.
Not necessarily spend it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a plan together now to put it somewhere for it to grow. And it's something that I hadn't expected to be there. It was over at the end. And then afterwards, I thought everything has an amount. Some things are fixed, some things move, some things change. So you have to know that. And I thought to myself, this is what I need to teach people. Yeah. And this is how I got to where I was, Greg. I know.
Yeah.
Then when I started teaching it, Greg, I realized, say I have 10 people. One person knows about it. Yeah. No, one person knows about it.
Well.
Nobody even knew. They just get the money and they pay the bills, and then they go to the pub and they go and buy what they've seen, a nice jacket, bought the jacket, buy the shoes to go with it, it's a payday, and then they think, oh gosh, what is the day? I want no money left. And you've still got a week to go. Yeah. You know, I think to myself, well, how are you going to go with that week? You know, how do you do? And what they do is they resort to debt. Debt is so freely available. They'll just put the last week on a credit card, and that's what they'll do. And every time they run out, they'll probably get a loan. And if they find out they need a car, then they'll probably lease it. They're trying to find the easiest way out through life. It's like you're swimming, and you think, oh no, there's too many people over there. It's like you're in a swimming pool. There's too many people, so you're going on that side of the swimming pool, and it's just like you're just trying to survive. And then people get to a point where they get to a point of shame, and they think, how did this happen? And the thing about it is that they, at the same time, they are increasing in their work pay. They're getting promoted. They're going to the next level. They applied for the new job, and they think that they need more money to get rid of the mess that they've made. And the more money they get, the more
mess they're adding
on.
The
more mess they're adding on, because now they can send the children to private school, and now they can. When they get to private school, they find out everybody's in the horse riding club, and they say, "Oh, you're the only one not in the horse riding club." And they think, "Oh no, I don't know." I don't know if I can afford this horse riding club. You say, this is the husband, you apply for another card and we put the horse riding on the card. Yeah, and then this happens with everyone on their level. So you're thinking, oh yeah, my kids don't go to private school, so I don't. That doesn't. Yes, whatever your level is, everyone's got the same trainers. I need that trainers. Everyone's got a PlayStation 5. I still got a PlayStation 4. Yeah. It's like, when are you going to upgrade?
Oh, nowadays they got that new drip. They got that new drip.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And there's as you're saying, there's going to be something that's going to be released every 6 months. I mean, Apple do it with people all the time, and they've got them like, on the hook. Because after they get the new phone, they say, oh, you've got that version. What about the S version? What about the Plus? What about... And then those who are have a personality that goes that way, they will want the next thing, and they don't even know that they're doing it. Yeah. And everything in life, when I say everything material will naturally depreciate. So unless you're clever and you can sell it quickly to hold the price, you're going to be selling it for half price.
Jeez, love that. So she's always seeing the value of things and understanding how to. I love that though. Always knowing how to flip it. Yeah. And knowing how to. It's gonna be.
Yeah. I don't know what they're up to that iPhone 12 now, but I'm just getting my children iPhones, but they're on 2 or 3 behind. But when I look at what they can do on their phones, I think, wow. So what do the new ones do then? Do they wash up the dishes?
Yeah, make you a cup of tea and dance and read a book.
They don't. But they can do this and that. I said, until they can wash the dishes, until they can clean your room, we are not going to pay $1,500 for the next phone. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. No. So what are some of the things that people identified about you that caused them to realize that, are you doing anything different than we are? Because like you said earlier on, obviously you was living off of one person's income, but you were still able to make it through and still able to have the things that you wanted as well somehow, and still, and when did you realize that people were coming up to you, and what kind of things were they seeing you obviously achieve for yourself?
Well, what they were saying, they would never come up to me in a group. I know that. They would come up to me in the car park. They'd come up to me, they'd give me a text or something. Because I said this money thing, I think it's bringing information to the masses is I think it's refreshing to people, because someone can now actually talk about it, and that deals with me. And that's what would happen with people. They would come and they would see that I had a car, and I tell you what I would do with the car. The car would be there's certain things when we buy a car, just about this flipping stuff again. Gosh, I wish it had a different name.
It's true.
But when we buy a car with full service history. The bodywork has to be brilliant, pristine, and it has to have all the best 2 keys, blah blah blah, because we know we keep it for about 3 years. Greg, people don't know. If you go to the DVLA, you can get a personal number plate and put on your car. That's from anything from £200 to £500. You can put in a whole load of things and find one that suits you. And I've had my number plate now for my last 5 cars. I've had the same number plate. No one knows whether my car is straight from the showroom. Because when I come in, it's shiny.
Shiny.
They don't know if it's straight from the showroom or if I bought it from someone second hand, because it's got the number plate. And I keep saying to people, so when they go, oh, look at your new car, look at you, you're all right, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, hello, come. Let me come to my office. Sit down. What's your name? What's your favourite team? What are you into? You like Bubbles. Let's see if Bubbles is available. You're online. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm going to find your number plate. And then you're going to put it on every car that you've got. Now, that takes the pressure off.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Listen, my husband is from Jersey. He was born there, grew there, blah, blah. When you every car in Jersey has a J, followed about 4 numbers afterwards. The least numbers you have is the richer you are. So if your car says J5, then you know he's got so much money. But if your one says J56921, you know. You know that you're regular. You're regular. You know. So it's like we see it sometimes when we're on the motorway and we see a car come past and it says MJ2. Who is MJ? You want to catch up to see if you can see through the tinted windows. Now I said to them, listen, you're going to get your number plate. You're going to put it on your car, and you'll know what it is. My husband, as I said, he comes from Jersey. He has no recollection of what a car registration over here meant when he first came. So he'd say, oh, look at that beautiful car. Ooh. And I'd say, oh my gosh, it's a Y-Reg though. It's a Y-Reg. And he said, what's a Y-Reg? I said, the Y on the start at the beginning. You can't.
1998 or something like that.
No. And then afterwards I said, look, there's O2, and then I had to tell him exactly, and I said, halfway through the year you get another registration. I had to explain it. And I said, when you were young, it used to come out in August and used to be on the motorway. You hope that your dad took you on the motorway so you could see the new ones and look at the number plates and go, there's one, there's a new car. And I said, everybody got new cars now, so it's not so much fun as when we were little, when we used to look for the new registration. And he said, really? And he said, yeah, we don't have that pressure in Jersey. And I said, I know you don't. And I said, but over here, as soon as you drive in the car park, everyone looks at your number plate. And I said to people, right, that's just a pressure of life. There's just some things that just are. Right? If someone drives a new car in, you're going to look at the number plate. Is that a new one, or is it 3 years old, or, is it an old version? But when it's a private number plate, it's like your bubbles burst straight away. You think, I can't tell. I can't tell. What is it? You think, the fun's gone, I can't. So I said to them, listen, what you need to do is get a good running car, a good mechanic, and someone who can look over a car you're going to buy with, and you have to pay to take him with you, and then put your number plate on it. and you can drive it for years and years now without the pressure of
But
your friends and family and whatever coming to say, I need to keep up with the Joneses, because no one cares. No one
Because
knows.
all of these things are also factors that you identified that was causing you to literally put money down the drain. You know, literally say goodbye to it because of the external pressures, the external factors that really impacted, obviously, the accumulation of outgoings that were going. And you had to look at it with a razor sharp kind of lens to see how to really work off one particular income.
There's so much pressure. You know, I was working off one income, but there's so much pressure. Like, say that someone comes from abroad and they don't have things like council tax, road tax, blah 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 in their country, but they come here and then they start to, all their money's going in different directions. They feel that they have to keep up with everyone because they've come here from their country, and their family's looking at them thinking, you know, how comes you don't have more? You went to England. And that pressure also is coming on the generation that's come from abroad to try and keep up with the Joneses. So when they take a picture or send it back home, it looks like they're doing well. So, you know, I said to them, look, if you can get rid of all of that,
pressure,
you can put up this wall that says, I do not care.
Live according to your means, your standards.
You can start, it's almost like you can do this any day. You can do it today. You can just wipe the slate clean and say, I don't care. You know, people I don't care. Because
at least it's not getting me in debt.
A while down the road, you'll just go, pa-ching, and you go, what? Where you get that from? You're so much ahead of everyone. You just keep your mouth shut, do what you're doing, and then your one salary can outdo their two because they are using it.
And that's what you're saying, that a lot of people was shocked by the fact that you was doing what you was doing and having what you had with one salary, which you're going to go into more practical things for us in a bit and tell us more, you know, obviously on the second part of the show, literally money management and the 21 steps as well, which is what you call it, of how to obviously live with a shoestring budget in order to get yourself debt free or literally live debt free, you know, the way that you was able to operate, and which obviously now you're giving us first an insight of the mentality that you have to have first in order to prepare, to understand that, you know, you create your own path and you go according to your own tempo, because any external pressures will be the things that is now also causing you to go outside your own budget. There's no point of taking on board the practicalities if you've got a mentality that is driving everything else externally to that, so that you can keep up with the Joneses, and that's amazing. And what just with the next few minutes, what are some of the other things that you feel is what is challenging people from actually going down that route of being able to live a debt-free life?
Okay, the main thing, Greg, that I would say is that, as I started this conversation, money is not a topic that people talk about. There is an activist at the moment called Martin Lewis. A lot of people know that he's trying to get it into schools so that children will learn from the beginning. But a world out there, the adult world, even my children's age and above, they're like 15, 16, going about. They can't wait to get money to buy stuff. To buy
consumer mentality,
that's all
not even investment.
They are just consumers. They want to spend it straight away, and a lot of people. That's why there's only 2% of people who are like, you know, living the life of Riley, who are controlling the rest of the world, and the rest underneath, they're trying, and then it goes down and down and down. But I would say education the whole of the elitists in the 1900s said, if we teach education, money education to people, they will want to better themselves. We need workers. The World War was coming in, and we need people to rebuild the country, and we need them to just obey what we do, and we want them to rely on us. So that mentality has gone down and down and down through the generations, that when you leave school, you get a job. And as us money people say, job is JOB, which stands for just over broke. Just over broke. And then, but you can't plan to be wealthy on a job because a job gives you a salary. And so there's a ceiling straight away. There's a ceiling. If your boss can afford to pay you the average wage of 27,000, he actually makes 10 times as much as you to be able to pay you that, because he's got to pay the rent, the bill, the lift maintenance. He's got to retarmac the car park. He's got to he's got to be able to make 10 times as much as that. To be able to pay you what he pays you, to the average salary. So if you were the boss, your ceiling is open, and that is not taught to people because it's too scary.
That's it. So that's why we're going to go on a second part, and she's going to talk to us about all the practicalities now that we can actually take and apply and put on board, as she talks to us about the 21 steps of obviously money management and how to live a debt-free life on a shoestring budget. Make sure you got that hot pen and a pad to take down these tips. Catch you on the other side. See you soon. Hello and welcome back